CNN put out an article earlier this week titled, "He got out of Gaza, but Gaza did not get out of him." And in it, they were talking about an Israeli soldier who has returned home after serving time in the Holocaust that is currently going on and has unalived himself. I truly believe that this is CNN's attempt to humanize the men who went over to Gaza, and this is how they are attempting to do so. So pay attention to this. And here's a piece of the article that I really wanted to focus on. It says, he saw a lot of people die. Maybe he even killed someone. But we don't teach our children to do things like this, she said. So when he did this, something like this, maybe it was a shock for him. It goes on to say that one of his friends and co-workers of the bulldozer that they used to unalive these people provided further insight into their experiences in Gaza. He says, "We saw very, very, very difficult things that are difficult to accept." Zankin also said that on many occasions, soldiers had to run over terrorists, dead and alive, in the hundreds. Let that sink into your brain for a moment. They had to run over civilians, dead or alive, in the hundreds. He goes on to say everything squirts out. He also wants you to know that he could no longer eat meat, as it is a reminder of the gruesome scenes he witnessed in his bulldozer in Gaza, and he struggles to sleep at night. The sound of explosions ringing in his head. He also goes on to say, when you see a lot of meat outside and blood, both ours and theirs, then it really affects you when you eat, referring to the bodies as meat. Another person in this article says, for many, the transition from the battlefield back to the civilian life can be overwhelming, especially after urban warfare that involves the deaths of women and children. He says, how can you put your children to bed when you know that you saw children killed in Gaza? First of all, this right here is a bulldozer. This is a type of bulldozer that is used in Gaza. So when that guy Zankin said that they were using bulldozers to run over people, dead or alive, this is the type of things that they use. It's a Caterpillar bulldozer that came from the United States that they have transformed into a weapon of war. They use these to bulldoze buildings, to run over bodies, to do whatever they like while they're driving them. And there's normally two drivers in one at the same time. Can you imagine driving one of these, running over both dead and alive people by the hundreds, and listening to their bodies crack and squirt and do all of the disgusting things that this man is talking about in the article? These are reservists, people who went back into the army to do this crap. These are people without a heart, without a soul. But yet this article wants you to feel sorry for them because they had to go back and commit this Holocaust that is going on right now. I seriously hope that for every atrocious act that any one of these people who have gone into Gaza and has committed has to live with this for the rest of their lives. I want them to see the bodies, the people that they have gone and committed these Holocaust crimes against. And for the man who said that he can't eat meat anymore because of all of the disgusting things that he has seen, I hope that every time you take a bite of food, whether it be meat or vegetables, I hope that you taste the blood of every Palestinian that you have on your hands. And for all the Palestinians that are going to continue to die because of this genocide, Holocaust that is currently going on, I hope that you never have one peaceful ounce of sleep for the rest of your life. What Israel is doing is some of the most disgusting acts that I have ever seen close to mankind ever commit. And as for the ones who said never again, this is never again. This time right now should be never again. And for the one who said that he's having a hard time putting his children to bed, knowing what he saw in Gaza with the other children and how they were being unalived, I hope that every time you see a child, that it reminds you of the death and the destruction that you have caused these families. I never want you to be able to look at a child and have a moment's or an ounce of peace. This was probably one of the most disgusting articles that I have ever read by a news organization. But until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, free Palestine.